Thank you very much, JP, and thank you to everybody who's out here. Although I have to say, I have horrible social anxiety, and the crowd is a little bit intimidating for me. So I'll try to bear with it. I know you've listened to a lot of speeches today, and I know we're all anxious to leave, so I'll try to be brief, and I'll try to say something that's worth your time. There are many things that are wrong in the world today, and I could go on all day speaking about them. I assume if you're here, then you're probably already well aware, so I'm going to spare you that. But I look at crowds at things like Red for Ed, at the Women's March, at March for Our Lives, and this gives me hope. I see Jordan Harb and kids like him, and I see that they're awakened. I see these are people who I think are going to stay awakened, and I hope that for the rest of their lives will continue to be engaged politically and hopefully scientifically. Our country is not, and it will never be perfect, but if we remain dedicated to improving it, then we will get successively closer to perfection. Last week, one of my interns asked me, Scott, how can I tell what's true and what's false given the wild disparities in different media? And his question actually contains a little kernel of wisdom. We don't know. The first thing to recognize is that we don't know. Socrates said, the only true wisdom is in knowing that you know nothing. And that is where we should all start. We can never know the absolute truth. But if we remain dedicated and follow scientific methods, we can get successively closer approximations to the truth. Scientific epistemology, the study of how we understand things, of how we know things in science, is something that directly applies not only to people who are interested intrinsically in science like everyone here, but to everyone. Just because you don't know how to use a flashlight or a hammer doesn't make those things useless. I run into so many people who say, Scott, why should I learn calculus? Why should I learn about science? I'm an artist, I'm a painter, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, whatever. These people don't recognize that if you don't know the tools, you'll never see that's a screw that you can use a screwdriver for. That's a nail that you can use a hammer for. Critical thinking and genuine skepticism are essential tools, and these are things that all of us can use, and in the current world, they are desperately lacking. This is why science matters. Along with history and philosophy, civics and art, literature, music, poetry, etc., science matters. Education matters. And we focus too much in education on training for jobs. And that's part of it. You should be educated to prepare you to work. But education is really preparation to live our fullest lives. It's training to be informed and active citizens who will make the right decisions, who will be able to weigh evidence and not be taken in by lies and con men. So just as importantly, education is training to keep us from fooling ourselves. There's no one who is easier to fool than ourselves. So science is a key part of that, and thank you very much for coming out. Thank you very much for sitting and listening to me.
Well done.